Hello, this is my live stream for today. I'm appalled by the Black Lives Matters protests in the UK, and so I'm going to share that in a minute. Some of those people are just as racist as the KKK, which I'm totally against. And the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, should be a terror organization, as well as Antifa. Anyway, I'm going to see the Ku Klux Klan are bad news. They're terrible, right? Just as much as Antifa are. Anyway, I don't need to be on that page anymore. I started playing his video, right? And the hard left are terrible. And I'm going to do my commentary. And these people are unsaved. They're criminals. I see them as criminals. Okay, my commentary.
Right, you all know that the BBC and Sky News can sometimes be a bit biased towards the left and the woke.
Always biased.
I hate that word, woke. But today of all days, they've slightly crossed the line. Now, as you know, today is a very important day. It's the anniversary of D-Day. So you would think that the Sky and the BBC websites would prioritize this over anything else. It's not true. They are primarily focused on this. Left-wing protests in London, in Westminster, outside Parliament. We're going to talk about the problem with this march in general, fundamentally, in this video. But the issue I have with this, before we get into the whole media talking about it, is that social distancing rules and lockdown rules. If your loved one passes away and you attend a funeral, more than a few people, you'll be arrested. If you go visit your friend, you'll be arrested. But if you go out there in London, in thousands, massive groups, then you're fine, because that's part of virtue signaling, and nobody can touch you. So the best we had was Priti Patel begging people not to go out today, just politely asking them not to go. Obviously, they ignored her as Home Secretary. Now, the BBC and Sky are talking about it on the actual channels because they have to, although it's not part of the main headline. It's they talk about this first, then they talk about D-Day, fun. But let's look at the actual websites, because this is the BBC front page, nothing. Unless you go to the UK section or politics and then scroll down, then you could find a mention of anniversary of D-Day. Sky News, another one, nothing. The first bit is again about the protests, classic. But the problem is these outlets, these specifically, I'm talking about the websites, because a lot of people use the apps and they go on the websites to check. Not everybody watches the actual channels. Is that what they are promoting and focusing on today is people like this.
Those people who were doing this, right? That's absolute. They just wanted be in crime, right? That's stealing from the ATM, right? That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
So, yeah, in the name of this is all happening in the name of equality, fairness, justice.
Equality to rob people? All these people, as far as I'm concerned, are against law and order. They want lawlessness, right? Very, very bad people.
Right? I don't see any justice in that video. I don't see any fairness or equality. No. I mean, the only equality I see is equality in crime. And so this isn't obviously looking good. And the other issue I have is that what these people did today. This is the statue of Winston Churchill. They vandalized it.
They're criminals. That's what
everywhere,
these people
and
are.
there's someone urinating, obviously, as you do. And it took the police a while to realize, and eventually they came to defend and protect the statue. But by that time, it was slightly too late.
Well, anyone from any color of skin, right, can be racist. Okay? It's not just white people, right? These people only think Black Lives Matter, right? I'm disgusted. These people want lawlessness. It's not about justice for George, right? George and anyone should never be murdered. I don't support murder of any kind, right? What about these rioters in the United States and the looters murdering African American police people, right? They don't care. So it's not about a race, right? It's not about Black Lives Matter. It's about lawlessness. That's what it's all about. And it's wrong. It's wrong. They're no bad. These people are no better than those 4 police officers who killed George. They're no better. And the people is accusing others of being racist. Quite a lot of these people are racist themselves, and they make me sick. And I don't go by skin colour.
Yeah. So now let's talk about this march and this group of left-wing activists out there. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character."
Yep.
Is that happening?
No.
Thanks to the left, because they are obsessed with identity politics. They are obsessed with putting people in certain categories instead of just moving on from talking about things like this, because we made a lot of progress in the 20th century. You cannot completely eliminate prejudice, especially when it comes to race. Not going to happen. So if these people were out today to show their voice to completely eliminate prejudice, well, that's not going to happen. That's part of humanity. That's the flaw that we have.
See, Maya Tousi is an UK citizen, originally from Iran. His family fled because of the persecution in Iran. He's an unbeliever, but anyway, I'm subscribed to him. It doesn't matter what colour of skin people are. I don't look at the colour.
If their problem and their issue is, they say that there is an institutional and systemic problem in the UK and in the US. That's a massive lie. There's no institutional and systemic. By definition, means there should be laws that are existing laws against non-white people, for example. We don't have that anymore. This is, we got rid of all of them in the previous century and before that. And there are individual cases and individual people in the police force, in various institutions, and you tackle them case by case. That's all you have to do, and it happens all the time. But if going out there and pretending that there's an institutional problem, and we've had the police actually joining these virtual signalers, so they're basically admitting that they're the problem. It's their job as police officers to fix it.
That's right.
And we have the stats. Because
see, these UK police people don't want to fix it, right? They're cowards, the UK police. Or they don't want to be called racist, right? Well, they like lawlessness, right? And they're failing the people of the UK, right?
Because even if they say that the police brutality is based on prejudice, well, where's the evidence? Firstly, you cannot, just because something, a police officer is aggressive and does something really bad against someone, for example, unarmed in America, unless you're a mind reader and you know that, oh, I know exactly the intention of the police officer. You have no evidence. We have the stats. Last year, the police shot 9 unarmed black people and 19 unarmed white people. So if it was supposed to be based on race, then it should have been the other way around. Also, police officers are 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black male than black males killed by police officers. And white police officers are less likely than non-white police officers to shoot suspects. So again, this is the whole problem. A lot of these protesters have been also criticizing and targeting the police officers who, a lot of them, are non-white. So I don't understand what the problem here with these idiots, because you have the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, doing this today.
This communist guy makes me sick. Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, right. Of all people, literally of all people, Justin Trudeau, this guy, the guy who did this one.
Who did the blackface? Yep.
The irony, the hypocrisy. This is the biggest problem that we have, is actually the establishment and institutions that are on the side of these left-wing Marxists, and they are brainwashing these people. They're brainwashing our young people. They're fighting an imaginary enemy. As I said, just to clarify,
I hate Marxism of any form. I hate communism.
I'm saying there are no problems. There are individuals within society in the West that have prejudice. But firstly, in terms of percentage compared to other continents, Africa or Asia, if you want like real problems, we have surveys. There are surveys out there that shows that those people are more intolerant towards other people from different backgrounds. So in the West, we've already, thanks to education, we have and our culture, we've made a lot of progress. That's one. Secondly, institutionally, systemically, these are laws. We don't have them anymore. Again, go to Asia, go to Africa. There are actual laws against people from certain backgrounds. Look at China, what they're doing. So everybody needs to calm down. This is and do not mistake this issue because with the real agenda of these hard left Marxists. The people organizers, the people who are doing this, the agenda is collectivism. That's all it is. It's all in the name of justice and equality. They don't really care about any of this. And then everybody's becoming woke. Corporations right now. This is we're in the month of June. Pride is happening. So it's all about virtue signaling. So this is a good meme. Every corporation right now is now kind of confused. Do they have to go with the Pride stuff or the current stuff with the with the BLM? Why do we live in a society that's we're being dictated by these idiots? And the other thing that's happened yesterday, I think, was Imperial College in the UK changed their logo now and got rid of Imperial because it reminds them of the Empire. Are you kidding me? And this vendetta against the British Empire is absolutely fascinating, as if they were the only empire that we had in the world, and it was the most, like, the only.
And if you watch Ken Ham's series on human history, right, you can see over the thousands of years since Noah's flood, the man in each country, yeah. So it's not just white people. The left are idiots.
And most vicious that we had. You're talking about a time and an era that countries were either empires or wanted to be empires. That's just the world we used to live in. And but I don't understand why they have to do this. Rewriting history, for example, is a bad idea. Changing this doesn't really change anything about the past and history.
It doesn't.
So just stop this nonsense. Absolutely stop it.
Can't stand the left anymore.
On this channel, I'm going to focus on this. It's the anniversary of D-Day. And people sacrificed their lives so that we could have freedom today and we could live a better life. So I'm just going to focus on this rather than the idiots with their virtual signaling behavior and the BBC and Sky. You know, they should kind of reform themselves. They should change their behavior as well. So we have this, the members of the channel. This is a message to you guys. Tomorrow is...
Okay, so I don't need to play that. But we'll show Jay's comment, Bible Brain 1611, about all this. And I don't need to read that, but from here onwards, all lives matter, my brother. And he is an African Canadian man, right? I'm even thinking of doing a video on that topic and share what the King James Bible says. The group of Black Lives Matter are total farce, and they don't really care about the black people in general. And this is from Jay. He is black, right? And they do play on the emotions of black Americans. And yes, you hit the nail on the head. This is clearly about getting rid of Donald Trump, so those demon rats will be in power. They are clearly traitors to the United States. God bless you, Brother Frank. Yep, and I do like Jay. I just hope things can be resolved. But anyway, that's my doors going to be open from today onwards. So if he ever comes and wants to talk to me, he can. This is the gospel. These demonstrators, most likely not saved, unsaved, they in crime. So it's not about justice for George at all. And this is the gospel that's saved. It's all about what Jesus did on the cross. And the most important thing, that he died on the cross, was buried and rose again. Now, if you believe and if they put their faith in Jesus as a personal Savior and trust that he, Jesus, died for their personal sins on the cross, was buried and rose again, they are saved. And the blood is part of the death, because actually, right, the death, burial, resurrection, that is the gospel, and he did shed his blood at the cross. So it is part of the gospel, even though the blood, the blood, the actual word of blood isn't there. So that's why Romans 3:23-28 is part of the gospel, right? So it's clear, right? So that's all I need to do. Yeah. Hi, Phil. Hello, mate. Yeah, my door is open. I've spoken to Sister Mary, and I'm leaving the door open. If Jay wants to talk to me at some point, he can. Yeah. So, hi, mate. You want to come and say hello to me before I end the live stream? I know it's early on Sunday morning. You can come on. You just mute the YouTube. Yep. Okay, sure, mate, no problem. Okay, cool. And anyway, what I'll do, when Jay does that video on All Life Matters, I want to cover it, Phil, and I want to ask, maybe King's Table, if he would like to come on and do commentary with me, and even if you want to come on, up to you. But definitely at least myself and King's Table on this channel. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to end the live stream. It's quite early. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.